How to create webtoon backgrounds fast and hard but worth it. This isn't gonna be a very detailed tutorial. This is just gonna be a quick explanation on what I do and use to hopefully give you another way of going about creating backgrounds. So drawing background is really hard and it's always gonna be hard, but I'm gonna show you the worth it kind of hard. First method I use, this is the easiest and the fastest way of going about it, is tracing photographs. I only use this method with a forest background because consistency isn't really important. The readers see a bunch of trees and bam, their minds instantaneously registered the scene as quote unquote in the forest. To be real, no one really stare for hours at a one single panel. Well, maybe if it's a really important panel that conveys lots of emotion, but for the rest of the panels, we only glance at them for 0.01 milliseconds. So, with that fact behind our heads, we can say that we should learn to pick our fight. We should discern whether a certain panel should contain a lot of details or not. And as of now, I still find it hard to discern. I'm gonna show you how I use this method effectively. First, I determine the time of the day, whether it's dawn, night, noon, mid-noon, and then I simply type into Google, first dawn. Then I'll choose 1 to 3 pictures for one scene because for the 4 angles, right? And I'm not really that bothered by copyright because I transform the picture and it will not be obvious unless someone is really that crazy and determined to file charges against me. But another argument that gets me is simple respect for the artist and the photographer. And I'm also grateful for the abundant resources the internet has provided us all. So, to ease my conscience, I use the public domain pictures. I will list all the sites that I use that are free of copyright and free to use as commercial. So, after that, I'll just copy the color of the picture and use brush stamps over them, and then voila, it's done. Like I said, I only use this in a forest scene. And so, what do I use in any other scene, like inside a room, etc.? Well, this is where it gets technical and a bit complicated. But I promise you, this method is worth every fucking sweat. 3D backgrounds. This isn't gonna be a very detailed tutorial with every nook and crook because it's really confusing when you're just a beginner in 3D modeling. So I'm just gonna show you the general step-by-step process and the reason why it is very effective and very worth it to learn as a skill. And I use the free 3D app Blender, and it's really amazing because you can model, you can animate, you can video edit in that app, and it's free. So if you haven't downloaded that app yet, you're missing out. So yeah, why 3D? Can it use the first method at the interior scene? Well, it's pretty obvious. In a Google search picture, you only got one flat picture, and of course, you can't keep using that one single picture throughout the scene for obvious reasons. Like the camera shot another angle of the scene, you don't have a picture to use. Another way is drawing it from scratch. Well, this is the only available method back in the days, and thank God I am born in the era of computer. It makes life so much easier and art production so much faster. And so you can do this method like manually setting up the whole perspective grid and all of those things. But with all the tools at our disposals, we are asked to use them. It will be such a disrespect of the progress we have made as a human civilization. If you like to do that, you can do that. It would just take hours and hours, and of course, not only that, when you proceed to the next panel, you would repeat the whole process, and it will take another set of hours. But with 3D, there's a huge time allocated in learning the skill, but once you learn it, the process is much easier. They just take little time modeling the scene, and for me, if it's just a room, I can create it under 20 minutes, including the texture, the materials, the lighting, and then the rest would be rendering. Rendering is like an exporting an image. And not only that, I can reuse that model again and just adjust the camera angle for different panels in a one single scene. And for the props, there are tons of free 3D stuff all over the internet with the proper credits is all yours. I personally have loads of them. But a huge but, learning the skill takes loads of time, like loads of them. And the easy part comes after that. So yeah, I choose to learn 3D, and thanks to millions of tutorials out there on YouTube, I am able to learn the skill on my own without taking a course or something. So I'll explain the general process of how I go about it. So first thing I do is imagine the scene. If it's a room, I take my time visualizing the scene first, like what's the color, what's the ambience, the time of the day, the props and everything. And then after that, I go straight to modeling. If a certain panel is a castle, this will get a bit complicated because I have to sketch the concept of the castle and then model it. So basically, after I model it, I apply some textures or tweak the materials. Texture is basically the material of the objects, like if it's metallic, what's the color of the object, etc. After that, I position my camera to the desired angle and then hit render. Then voila, a very quick less wet background for you and me. I usually start with the background first before sketching the characters just to be accurate with the perspective of both the character and the background. So yeah, that's basically it. This isn't really a tutorial on how to do this. Like I said, this is just me introducing a certain method and why it works for me, and maybe it will work for you too. I guarantee you it is worth it. And yeah, I hope you get something out of this video. You of course check my webcomic out. The title is Land of the Gods. Link is in the comment section. The genre is fantasy, action, romance. It's basically about the young nobles taking serious responsibility as they venture into the world of power and magic. Yeah, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and click subscribe for more contents like this. I usually produce variety of contents from film reviews, like anime reviews, character analysis, art talks, and even tutorials like this. So yeah, see you when I see you. Bye.